It began in silence. Not the peaceful kind, but the thick, metallic quiet of a sealed chamber deep within the naval shipyard at Philadelphia. The kind of silence that carries weight, like something is about to break. The date was October 28, 1943. The lights above flickered once, and then the switch was flipped. In the center of the room, banks of arc generators thrummed to life, their coils glowing with a faint green hue. Engineers backed away as magnetic waves rippled through the air. Outside, moored at the dock, the USS Eldridge shimmered, its metal hull trembling as if resisting some unseen force. Then, it vanished. Not blinked out. Not faded. It was gone. For a few brief seconds, the waters were empty. And then, as if nothing had happened, the Eldridge reappeared. But the men on board were not the same. Some were screaming. Others were fused into the metal of the ship, literally, flesh melded into steel. One man reportedly vanished entirely, reappearing weeks later, in another city. Naked, confused, disoriented. And this was just the beginning. To understand how such a story could exist, how something so absurd, so terrifying, could be spoken of even in whispers, we need to go back. Not just to the docks of Philadelphia, but to the very idea that seeded this nightmare. It started not in a Navy lab, but in a mind. A brilliant, complicated, and often misunderstood mind. Nikola Tesla. Born in the village of Smiljan in 1856, in what is now Croatia, Nikola Tesla entered the world during a lightning storm. A midwife called it an omen. His mother, without hesitation, called it destiny. Even as a child, Tesla wasn't like the others. He claimed to see flashes of light no one else could see, memorize books in minutes, solve equations in his sleep. His mind was a storm hungry for energy, for patterns, for the unseen mechanics that bound the universe together. He arrived in New York City in 1884 with 4 cents in his pocket, a head full of inventions, and a letter of introduction to Thomas Edison. The meeting was electric, literally. Tesla proposed a new system of alternating current that would revolutionize energy transmission. But Edison, the king of direct current, refused. What followed was a war, not with guns, but with wires, patents, and sabotage. The war of currents. Tesla won. By the 1890s, Tesla had become a rising star. He lit up the Chicago World's Fair, harnessed the power of Niagara Falls, and even flirted with wireless power transmission. He built towers that touched the sky, conjured bolts of lightning from his fingertips, and predicted smartphones a century before their time. But his vision outpaced his investors. While Edison and Westinghouse built empires, Tesla built dreams, and dreams didn't always pay. Still, it wasn't until he moved into room 3327 at the New Yorker Hotel in the 1930s that his genius took a darker turn. Old, alone, and bankrupt, Tesla began pouring his remaining energy into a single obsession, the electromagnetic manipulation of space and time. He believed that with the right frequency, the right amplitude, the right configuration of fields, you could render matter invisible, or even displace it entirely. His notes, scrawled in notebooks, referenced bizarre terms: phase synchronization, zero-point oscillation, nonlinear temporal curvature. He wasn't just thinking about radio waves anymore, he was trying to bend the universe. He claimed to have once tested a device that made an object flicker out of existence for a fraction of a second. It terrified him. He told no one. Except, perhaps, the US government. In 1939, on the brink of World War II, representatives from the Office of Naval Intelligence approached Tesla quietly. The pitch was simple: the Allies needed every edge they could get. Could Tesla help make American ships invisible to enemy radar? Could he, using the principles he'd outlined decades earlier, create a shield, an electromagnetic cloak? Tesla agreed, but with conditions. The device must never be weaponized. The technology must never be used on humans. He began the project at a classified site, possibly at Brookhaven or even the Naval Yard in Philadelphia, working under a codename only whispered in certain rooms, Project Rainbow. He devised field generators, massive coils powered by high-frequency transmitters. The idea was to encase a ship in a rotating electromagnetic bubble, warping the surrounding space and scattering radar signals. But the math didn't stop there. Tesla's logs suggest he believed the fields could also affect time itself, compressing it, stretching it, even folding it. As the experiment neared readiness in 1942, Tesla grew increasingly disturbed. He claimed the field strength required would not only affect the ship, but the men on board. He warned Navy officials that it would rip the soul from the body. They dismissed him. The Navy brought in younger engineers. Tesla resigned. Less than a year later, he was found dead in his hotel room. The official report said heart failure, but the FBI arrived first, seized all his papers, and took them to an undisclosed location. Many of those documents were never seen again. Among those who inherited Tesla's files was a man named Dr. John von Neumann, mathematician, physicist, and a key figure in both the Manhattan Project and early computing. He allegedly took over the project after Tesla's departure, refining it, testing it, pushing it past what Tesla had warned against. By mid-1943, preparations were underway at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. The USS Eldridge was outfitted with Tesla coils, electromagnetic generators, and miles of cabling routed through the hull. Witnesses say the ship had a strange hum even while docked, as if vibrating with latent energy. Then came October 28th, the test. The switch flipped, and the nightmare began. The ship vanished in a flash of blue-green light. Some said it flickered. Others, that it blinked out completely. Onboard instruments stopped cold. When the Eldridge reappeared, it brought with it a horror no science could explain. Some men were fused to the deck, bodies half submerged in steel, screaming in silence. Others wandered the dock raving, eyes glazed, mouths muttering things no one understood. A few, too few, survived intact. But even they couldn't describe what they'd seen. Only that they were somewhere else. That time skipped. That voices echoed without mouths. Von Neumann shut the project down immediately. Or so the records claim. But if Tesla's theories were correct, the experiment didn't just make a ship invisible, it fractured reality. Time, space, perception, all scrambled. His last writings, uncovered decades later, warned of a door, once opened, that cannot be closed. The project faded into legend. But strange whispers continued. A classified Navy document titled Project Rainbow was discovered years later. Its pages redacted, its authors unnamed. The Eldridge was sold to the Greek Navy, quietly decommissioned. No tours. No ceremony. Just silence. Tesla's legacy, once dismissed as madness, has found new believers. Modern physicists studying quantum field theory and spacetime curvature have found eerie overlaps with Tesla's equations. The science is catching up to the dream, or the nightmare. But no one truly knows what happened that day in Philadelphia. All we have are fragments, Tesla's warnings, the vanished ship, the screaming men, and the hum that never left the steel. Somewhere, in a forgotten archive or a sealed government vault, the truth may still flicker. And if the door Tesla warned us about is still open, what else has already slipped through?